Let's play a game. How many rabbits can you see? I can see quite a few. That's a lot to have in one area. It strikes me as interesting because there are a whole bunch just behind me as well. Lots of baby rabbits in this area. Look, there's a couple of baby rabbits right there. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. I'm out here in a desert and I'm gathering resources. In today's episode, we are not going to be spending all our time in the new biome as that's what we did in the last one. We're actually going to do 3 different things in this episode. I've got plans. Loads of projects that I'm inspired to do. And again, there are crazy amounts of bunnies out here in this desert, aren't they? Anyway, I'm gathering resources. I'm collecting dead bushes at the moment, and there are just loads of them, but you have to trek around to get them, so it takes a little bit of time. We're on our 3rd stack at the moment, and also I've filled up 2 shulker boxes full of sand and sandstone. You see, I did a trip before the last episode, and although we only covered, let's say, probably about 10 to 20% of the area with sand, we used up all of my sand and sandstone supply, so wouldn't be surprised if we burn through all of this as well. We're certainly going to be using up that sand as we work on a pathway between the 2 areas. Let's land down safely. There we go. So from the X entrance over there, alongside the blood pit, around it, and through the middle of this biome border, we're going to build a path today. Hi. And I've got to say, love this area. Look at the way the light illuminates from the middle there. That's really cool. It makes it look a little bit more sinister as well, because it's kind of dark around there. And I love the illumination of this building. Ever so cool. You can see I've gone and chucked down some of those dead bushes we were harvesting. I think the frequency might be a bit much, but they're basically going to be a common part of the palette, and we will see them all over the place. I've got to put some in that area as well now that I think about it. So we'll move them around as we go. Now, our way through to the other island over there has been blocked off. As I said, I wanted to make it so there isn't a way through. However, we might make a secret entrance or something cool in the future. And also, I've been organising all of my items back into my ender chest shulker boxes, and I decided to add another one, which is X23 sand blocks. I don't think I need to explain that, but I never made spaces for these, so we've got that sorted out now. And I think as we run out of space here, I'm probably going to take ones like ice and lava out of there and make them for when I know I'm going to use them. I'll pick them up because they don't actually get used that often, so the ice will probably end up going in the misc, like a stack of each. So I just noticed what the time was. It is so easy to get lost when you're playing this game, just placing down blocks, having a great time. So the blood pit is on our right, and what I wanted to try and do is kind of conceal it a little bit, and I feel like we've done that successfully, as you don't really see too much of the blood in the middle until you get to this point, and then the view of it opens up, and I really like how that works. You can see there's a little bit of a path here. So with our path blocks, I've also scattered around these birchwood planks to kind of give a feel of structure, maybe a little bit. I don't know, it makes it feel a little bit more purposeful. And you can see clearly where the path goes, and then around on this side doing the same thing again. You can see how these blocks rise up and we kind of conceal the view a little bit. I feel like maybe we need like an extra couple of those just in this area to cover that up a little bit. Let's put some sand just there as well. And then you get down to this little creek, and again you can sort of peer into it and see the blood pit a little bit, and then there's obviously a path that kind of goes down through a much sharper valley. So not trying to repeat what I did there, but change it a little bit, make these walls come up. And I really enjoyed that. It's been very fun to place all the blocks and make that work. And now we've got to build up a large area over here. I'm going to add another tree, and then it kind of leads off into the next area. So I won't do too much more of this path because I'm not sure how it's going to transition. And speaking of transitions, that's a wonderful transition into the next point that I want to make, which is how are we going to transition the path over here, because we have something very different. And you can see that my original attempt is kind of sad. It doesn't work very well at all, does it? Yeah, so this bit I reckon is completely wrong as well. There should be some birch slabs there. In fact, basically what we want to get rid of is that, right? Aha, that makes it more passable. But I don't really like it. I'm thinking maybe what we need is just a rigid border here. Like this should just be cobblestone across, and then it's like a new path begins. But I've got a feeling that'll look ugly as well. This is actually kind of working. It's pretty much just the first thing that I've tried, and I'm not so sure about the amount of stone here. I think I want to reduce it in certain areas. And actually, let's get the occasional slab in here as well. Always good to add some height difference. You can see some of my blocks are now getting in the way Maybe a couple of bits of sand have been swept up against those walls. And it kind of works. I think maybe there's a little bit of an imbalance with the amount of the birchwood that we're using. So let's try and put a couple of... Oh yeah, they're half slabs. Maybe not right there. Or maybe actually we put cobble there and that'll help break it up a little bit. So let's see. Because it's kind of a clean border there. And actually it does kind of work. I think we can get away with that. I think I might come back here and tweak the amount of blocks and move some of them around. But otherwise, I think that's actually okay. And I really thought a border like this wouldn't work. So, glad we tried that one. I've just finished installing the third tree in this corner over here. Going to throw down a couple of dead bushes just to finish off this area. And you'll see over here it just kind of abruptly ends. That's because I don't know how the transition is going to work. And the same thing can be said for this path here. So we're going to leave it at that for now. And we're going to go back over to the entrance and focus on this little strip of unused land here as we're going to start to add some greenery. I just spent 10 minutes looking through the plot world trying to find a plot to find out whose name it is because I got a screenshot and it wasn't renamed. The reason the screenshot wasn't renamed is because that plot doesn't have an owner. I think they unclaimed their plot or something. I don't know why, so I can't give credit to this person. I really like this little part of their plot where they had these bits of green lush grass and they were surrounded by birchwood like this. So it kind of lets it stand out from the desert and makes it look like it's been purposely put there, which I think is important. Sandstone over here is a little bit of an experiment. I'm not sure that works, although I do like how it looks. And anyway, what we're going to do is put some artificial trees in here. I think these are going to be like 4 blocks tall. I'm talking about the dark oak fence, and then we're going to put some jungle leaves around it, and these things are going to be very vivid and very lush. I think it might have actually started a little bit higher on the screenshot, I'm not sure. But anyway, this will go up by 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, and then on the middle we're going to put one there and bring that all the way up to here. So that's nice and easy to copy coming down here, and then we want to go 1, 2, 3, perfect. And that is a very nice and very lush tree. We want to add a little bit of something else down the bottom here as well, some grass. And having 3 of those in this area is going to be interesting because it's quite the contrast from everything else. They look gorgeous. I'm super happy with these. I just want to get some feedback from all of you at the moment because I know some people won't like it, but I think they look really good. And I actually changed this over to sandstone. The more I looked at it, I felt like the sandstone looked a lot nicer, or maybe we could introduce yet another material, but we're going to knock this on its head for now. I think we've done a lot of work here with the path and adding some greenery, and we'll let that settle and come back to this one soon. So now we're going to do some work on the villager project, and I've got 8 stacks of this stuff in my inventory because I've been preparing, and I actually timed how long it took me using this machine to convert it all. Do you want to have a guess? Have a little guess in your head. You can write a comment if you want to. It was 3 minutes and 45 seconds to do 8 stacks of concrete. So you might be thinking X is going to finish that room, and you'd be right because 13,000 votes were in favour of this material over that one. That's 98% of the vote, so it wins by an absolute landslide. We're going to be tearing this all down and replacing it with something different. And we're not actually going to be focused on completing this room over here today. We're going to focus on the link between it and our entrance over here. It's going to involve a woodland mansion, which we're looking at the back of, and it's also going to involve a fake nether portal as well, which will be located inside of the woodland mansion. And this thing has been scaled down. It looks kind of great and kind of derpy as well. I like it though, look at that. That's awesome. So we'll use that to get through to our entrance over here, which means that I've got to tear all of this down. I'll do that in a second. Want to just point out a couple of things. Been reading my comments, some people saying that I've put the white rabbits in this biome. Well pointed out, they actually go in the snowy biome, so at some point in the future we're going to have a second room. One of the biomes that will go in that room will be like ice spikes and snow plains, and also an ocean will be needed as well, as we've got to build a mini guardian temple somewhere down there, but we'll think about that when we get to it. Another thing I changed over here is the bat head is now flying, as a couple of people suggested. As it is a bat, it flies, it's coming out of the ravine, which is pretty cool. That was peculiar. I put the track down after I broke the block here, and as soon as I did, the minecart jumped to it. From on top of the slab down there. I mean, I don't know, that's not intended behaviour, is it? Anyway, I've decided as we're clearing out that area, we should move the parrots into the corner here. And we're going to keep all of them. I know it's a lot of villagers to put in one place, but I think it'll be kind of comical. There we go. So, what do I need now? Green carpet. Hi, why won't you go there? Oh no, I've missed something. How did this happen? How did this happen? There's a zombie in here. That's breaking the rules of Minecraft. Where did that guy come from? Anyway, that doesn't matter now. The parrots are in place, and they love to stare at the ones in the middle. So they're always looking in like this. Then you get close to them, and they notice you, and they look at you. Look at that. Oh, very cool. I like it. I like it. Anyway, let's go inside our woodland mansion, and I'll show you how we're going to link these two things together. By the way, torn away all the blue wool back there. We'll see that in a second. Somewhere in here, I need to trap a Vex, and then a Vindicator, and then an Evoker. And when I say trap, I mean they're going to be villagers. They're going to be able to roam around a little bit, but we don't want them walking out of this place. And I'm not sure how to do that at the moment because I put this carpet down on the ground, which means you can't fence off the area or something like that. But whatever, up here I'm going to do the carpet a little bit different, and then you can see all of this space has opened up. And I've also just realised that all of this right here is going to go as well. We're going to link these areas together via the Nether. Okay, so when you walk through here, there's going to be lava dripping down, there's going to be netherrack everywhere, and we're going to simulate the Nether. We could put a little mini fortress over to one side. That could be where the wither skeleton skull goes. I've got one of those in here, right? Yeah, we've got 8 of them. Jeez. And the wither as well. Got to think about that one. The ghast head will go in there. I don't think I've got any other nether mobs yet. Anyway, they will reside in this area, and the way we're going to link them together is with a portal, but it's going to be a fake portal, although I could actually just light it, and then the idea is that you walk through the portal to the other side. Well, I had a different idea, and I don't know where to build this, because it's going to be built out of obsidian, which means you're going to end up tearing it down again, right? I'm going to build it just between here, so if I make the portal like so, and then what I do is I make it 3 deep, for example. I'm one block short. I do actually have another stack of obsidian. I was thinking we could sort of scatter these around like so. But it's not really going to work, is it? Because you need to be able to move through there, and it's never going to look that great. Like, not even with that. You can sort of get through there, I think. Rubbish. No, that was never going to work. We should just go with this idea, just basically walk through it. And now the woodland mansion is done, nothing to marvel at. Actually, I should probably come through here at some point and put a few details on the wall. I'll probably do things like that during a live stream, so we'll be walking through this thing, but I am curious. When we go through here, we're going to link up with the side you'd expect to link up with in the Nether, so that's good. And when you go back through here, it links up to the correct portal, so it hasn't caused any issues, which is a good thing. This fella's had a bit of a throat infection. That looks awful, doesn't it? And as we walk down here, you can see exactly what's going on. It transitions into the Nether, and then it's a very traditional Nether with fire and netherrack everywhere. And over there, you see a little bit of a fortress, which leads you through into the next area. And notice how this is the same as you'd see a fortress. Got those little bits on the side here, and oh, I just love it. I think it's really great. What we're going to do next, though, is the classic lava pool and having lava dripping out of the ceiling and falling down to it. Got to put that in there, so I brought along my little lava box over here full of lava, and we're just going to fill a little lava pool down there. Now, straight away, I see a problem with it, which is that we can see the stone, and actually, that's all right, because we should probably make it 1 block higher. So a ghast and a wither, those are the 2 skulls that we've got, and now that I've finished the Nether area, I've put them in there, so let's stroll on in. There he is, hanging out. Ready to fire some fireballs, are you? No, not today. Also, it looks like he's sticking his tongue out at me. Oh, do you know what this reminds me? These things cause a lot of destruction. This place probably needs a little bit more fire, so we're just going to sprinkle a few of those, maybe one over there, a couple over here. That's pretty good, and it helps light up the area a bit more, although all of that lava kind of did that job right. So that's that room. There's a bit of a ledge coming up the side here that creeps over the lava pool, and some of this terrain could probably be a done a little bit more Nether-like, but that's just how I've done it. And then going through here, there is a gap over on the side, and a wither skeleton is back there. I pushed a half slab into the villager, and again, he's sticking his tongue out at me. But I love how it moves around and it looks here. I'm not going to do that all the time, but I think that is a pretty impressive start with this one. And you also get a little preview as what's to come. As this leads you through on a path so far, it's really cool the way you get a little preview of that before you head down here out into the area. So moving on from our base, it's time to spend just a little bit of time in the communal area. I've had loads of feedback and something I wanted to mention about the episode where we worked on this. So first of all, loads of people suggesting the name Sorted, and had a little bit of a deja vu moment when people said that. I was thinking, have we been here before? Have I built some sort of storage thing before? And people said, you should have called it Sorted. Anyway, I was actually going to come over here and change that, but then I realised we're going to reduce the length of the word by 1 letter, which means the width of this thing would then be even, and it's currently odd and centered on this bit right here. As you can see, the middle letter lines up, so then it would look kind of awkward, and so we're just going to leave it at storage. I mean, Sorted would have been a much better name. Now in that episode, if you watched all of it, there was a point where I came into the shop and I started talking about how I'd placed all of these down and that I thought it looked like a storage system. Well, I recorded a clip that I didn't seem to include in the episode where I logged into the storage room and we flew around and we look at different parts of the storage systems, and I talk about what could actually end up looking like something we can put in here. And these are basically dropper elevators, right? Like the items go up through them and then there's torches at the back to power them and send the items through. That's what that was supposed to represent, and unfortunately I left it out, which was silly of me, I know. But anyway, let's fly through this beautiful area because we love to do that, and you can see here that the roofs have been transformed. There are now no lights anywhere, which is just fantastic, and we also have another shop opening up around here. Can you see it? Okay, I want to show you this how I first saw it. Are you looking at it? Bam, there you go, the banners appear, splash of colour. That's because of the render distance of banners. And this shop here is by Mr. Cubfan, and I love the entrance, lovely overgrown garden here, and a very colourful use of banners. You're going to love what you're about to see. Check this out. That is so freaking cool. I cannot wait to see Cub's episode on that and learn about how the redstone there works. Splash of colour, service orders, read me. Let's have a little read together, shall we? Welcome to Cub's Splash of Colour service, cranking out the colours since 2017. This service is a building service that focuses on the use of colours to beautifully enhance builds. Upon request, I will visit your build and add some tasteful, subtle or vibrant colours to it, which should enhance the build. Minecraft 1.12 is the World of Colors update, so there has never been a better time to add color to your builds. Use the book in the chest to request an order. Be sure to include what build you would like colorified and if you would like to collab or leave the project to me. Stay vibrant. Very cool service that he's offering there. I've always seen Cub's builds and thought, I love the way he uses color. He's not afraid of using strong and vibrant colors, and I'm sure at some point we could use his help. However, what I think I might do is strike a deal with Cub, because the other day I was thinking, right, we've opened up one shop. What is it that I could offer people? And I've got wool. I've got loads of wools in crazy amounts. As you've seen, I've got double chests full of the stuff. And I was thinking of maybe opening up like a wool service, but perhaps we could communicate with Cub and make it so that Cub can have access to all of the wools that we are producing, and he can put those to use, right? I think that would be a pretty good business deal to make right there. Anyway, if you like the idea or not, let me know what you think with a comment down below. I think it would be pretty cool to collaborate on something like that. And we got to do a little checkup. We have no customers, peeps. Sad face Asuma. Oh, I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'll bring it up in the meeting soon. I'm sure the hermits just don't know about it yet. And I'm looking forward to building another storage system, actually. I love building those big redstone contraptions. Anyway, we're kind of doing some odds and sods here at the end of the episode. I'm going to head back over to my base to do a few things over there. Before I leave, though, just wanted to mention I've had a ton of requests to use the Disable Creeper Explosions video that I did recently on my channel, to use that in this area here. Some people suggesting that we change the biome to the mushroom biome, which would affect all of the grass color actually, or perhaps just disable creepers exploding. We've kind of talked about it as a group, and pretty much I think everyone feels that although it would be nice to have that inconvenience taken away from us, we don't think that's the way to play the game in this instance. So we're actually going to leave it so creepers will behave like normal over here. So the way for us to deal with things then would perhaps to be to build some dark rooms in the area to move the spawns outside of this place, which is something that I'll talk about at our next meeting, and maybe we will decide to use. Also, the ceiling here is dirt. Is that normal? I haven't walked through this bit before. Oh, it comes all the way up to the surface. I didn't know that. I thought it went to the thing in the middle at some point. Well, you live and you learn, didn't you? So I mentioned the sheep farm. It seems kind of fitting that we'd come over here next then, because we've got a little bit of a problem we want to solve. Do want to mention though, we are transforming the outside of this entire island. When we make our way around to this area, I'm going to build a structure around this, which has been my plan since day one. And after we build it, it sort of sat around like this, looking a little bit sorry for itself. But it does the job, which is great. And I've been using it all the time and filling up these chests with wool. And it takes a fair bit of time to go around and manually fill all of these up. And what you'll see is that we get a lot more of some types of wool, like orange, than we do others, like purple. And I actually took a schematic of this, and what I've got to do is sit down and count all of the sheep one by one to figure out what the type they are. I am not looking forward to that, because it's going to take a long time and it's going to be very boring. But with that, we should see that we've got more of some colours of sheep than others, because I'm guessing that some of them found a way to die. They found a way to die. Get it? It's a pun. That was completely unintentional. Anyway, wanted to cut recording there just because I started to waffle on a bit. Do you guys want to see more technical episodes? It feels like we've done a lot of building lately, and it's been a while since I've put on my hat, done some redstone, and there's a problem there we could solve with redstone, which is to find a way to automatically move all of our walls into this sorting system over here. Now, at the moment, my game is slightly shaky, and that's because I don't have Optifine on, and there should be walls moving through the system. There we go. They're getting automatically sorted into this area, but I'd like to automate that fully so that I don't have to make these trips back and forth, as it does take quite some time to sift through all the chests, moving in the materials, and oh, I can't put them in because they're full. Well, that makes a whole bunch of sense. But we're going to continue farming the wool, as you'll see here. Asuma stole a few stacks of wool. Please forgive me, Tango. Do you know what? If any of the hermits want to grab some wool from over here, they are more than welcome to come and take some. You know, we want to provide a service for everyone here. We're going to end this one with another flyby of our custom biome over here. Wow, it's looking cool. And I'm going to try and land on this. Yeah, look at that. So we didn't do tons today, but we got the path in, which is important, and I've got some plans for what's going to fill up this space over here. Don't you worry about it. It's going to be very interesting, and boy, oh boy, I'm just loving this project right now. If you enjoyed today's episode, then leave a like. As always, thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next episode of Hermitcraft. Ciao for now. Bye-bye.